Welcome back, guys, to the lives. We haven't been live for a while. Today's video, we're going to be talking about creating inner safety for the inner child within us. So we know we've talked about it in the past where when you have reactions to situations and maybe it's not how you want to act or react or respond, and it's not actually you that's responding, the present current you, it's actually the inner child. So even in relationships, in the world, maybe in your work life, in your personal life, you're seeing people's inner child versus who they are right now. So how do we create a sense of safety for our inner child so that it doesn't come to the surface and feel like it needs to protect itself and like needs to fight or needs to fight a situation? And how can we calm that inner child? We always talk about calming the nervous system, but let's kind of shift into how can we calm the inner child and just remind the inner child that it's taken care of. It's going to be okay. We're safe. They are safe. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And I wanted to really get into breath work because that's something that we cover sometimes, but we don't specifically talk about this kind of the science behind it. And I'm just gathering my notes for today. Okay. So with breath work, there's more than just take a deep breath, longer exhale because it's distracting you or it's calming you, like calming the nervous system. How is it calming the nervous system? So here's some science behind it. When you are inhaling, you are taking in air, obviously, and you are in, this is your fight or flight response because you're focused inwards. Okay, your focus is your focus inwards or focus outward for the other one? Let's forget the focus. It's just you're breathing in, all the air is coming in, the oxygen is coming in, and this is making your blood more oxygenated. And if you don't breathe out enough on the exhale and you're keeping too much carbon dioxide in the blood, you're keeping the blood acidic. So the exhale is to release the carbon dioxide and to balance out the inhale. So you're breathing all this oxygen, or maybe you're having a shallow inhale, not enough oxygen, and you're having a shallow exhale, you're not breathing out enough carbon dioxide, you're keeping the blood acidic. So as well as keeping you in a state of fight or flight, it is keeping your body in a state of unrest. Let's just say that. Let's say it like that. So we know, maybe you don't know, but the blood being acidic or alkaline, this is a concept you hear in health and wellness. And this is a very interesting way to look at breath work, because if you can alkalize the body by pushing out more carbon dioxide, keeping more oxygen in the blood, you're going to feel better. And your body's, not only are you going to feel better mentally because you have more oxygenation to the brain cells, but you're going to be able to fight off infection. You're going to be able to fight off whatever virus, colds and flu, things that are going on. You're going to be able to sleep better. You're going to be able to work out better. Your lung capacity is going to be better just by getting more oxygen in the cells and just by getting more oxygen transported around the body. Okay, so the more alkaline that you can create for the blood, the better, obviously to a certain extent. And this is a really quick way, scientifically, to calm the body and to create a sense of safety. So some people make this practice of exhaling for longer, a daily practice, maybe before bed or in the morning. You can do it combine it twice. I would say if you are watching my channel and you struggle with mental, maybe like brain fog, maybe you struggle with a little bit of anxiety, overthinking, maybe even there's some sleep problems there, or you just feel a little bit out of balance or dysregulated, I would definitely say doing this 3 times a day, where you're doing like conscious 5 deep belly breaths, where you are putting one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. And you can see this with other people. You can see this with maybe your family members or anyone that you see sitting down. If their chest is breathing, I've trained myself to breathe through my stomach. So I kind of have to, when I'm demonstrating for you guys, I have to think about it hard to breathe through my chest. But like some people breathe from their chest, you'll see it. Most people do actually. And you're going to see this part is moving and you're going to feel it moving. So it's very, very easy to do this when you're laying down, because you can just feel what hand is raising. Is it your stomach? Because your stomach is going to be protruding out and then down, protruding out and then down when you're exhaling. So you want to train your body, train your mind, train muscle memory to breathe from your stomach. This is going to put your body into rest and digest. It's going to calm you down. It's going to help oxygenate the blood more so than if you're fast, shallow breathing from the chest. The chest breathing is fight or flight. This is your sympathetic state, and then the parasympathetic state is going to be from your belly breathing. This is a really quick way to just switch that over and to calm everything down. So if we look at a chart, I want to get a pen and paper, but will this suffice? This will have to suffice. My notebook will have to suffice. But I think it's going to be reversed for you guys because I'm going to flip it. But let's go to a blank page. Let's go right here. January. I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I was away. That's why it's empty. Okay. So we're going to use a random page. And I'm going to show you guys it's simple squiggles. Okay. So shallow inhales and exhales. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. It's very shallow. This is kind of like, this is at best. Some people are breathing very little on the exhale and very little shallow breathing on, and their blood is becoming more and more acidic, and they're going further into the fight or flight. So what can we do here? So this is your 4 and your 6 breathing. So 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Why am I not good at this? 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. I don't know how to draw. Whatever it may be, but if you have longer amounts, that's a horrible diagram, guys. I don't know. The point is, okay, we want to breathe out the extra carbon dioxide. This is a very quick way. So if you feel yourself anxious, if you feel yourself stressed, if you feel yourself overthinking, if you feel this overwhelming feeling, this overwhelming feeling of like non-mental clarity, how can you calm yourself down very quickly is the belly breathing. This is really great before bed, because what's it going to do? How are you not falling asleep? Oh, because you're probably not calm enough. So push yourself further into parasympathetic, calm yourself down. This is great before bed. So that's amazing. In the morning, regulating your body. So it's not, your cortisol is not shooting up too high. Your cortisol is going to shoot up. That's a healthy thing. Within the next 30 minutes of waking, you're going to have a cortisol, going through your veins. It's going to go up, which is good. But how can you make it a little bit more balanced? It's not going to be overproduced too high in excess. The deep belly breathing, regulating and balancing the oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. Okay. And you will literally see this with breath work. And if you begin it, it's going to be hard, and you're going to see, I don't know how everyone else does this. When you first start breath work, that's everyone's thought is, this is too hard, I can't do this. And then you keep going, and then it becomes very easy. It's just like going to the gym. It's just like lifting weights. It's just like running, walking, whatever it may be, playing the piano, whatever. You're going to get better with time. It's going to become easier and easier. And it's the easy stuff, which is literally just breathing. This is very easy stuff. It's not going to be hard. Okay, after a while, it's not going to be hard. Not even a while. After a few times, you'll see it. Even with my clients, I see them. It's easy for them. They develop the muscle memory of just breathing from their stomach. It's like a habit. So you're just switching it over. You can just put one hand here, one hand on the stomach, and you're just going to deep breathe. The reason we put hand here is to remind ourselves that this is not going to move. So this stays here, not moving. The hand over your stomach is going to move. Even deep breathing out for a while, you're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to feel like, wow, this requires some muscles, some muscle activation. And yes, that will feel like that. So it's okay. It's just, you just get used to it. And the deep breath in is going to feel uncomfortable as well, because you're going to be like, my muscles don't go out that far, or like, I can't. It just feels tight. Like the muscles feel too stiff. So when your muscles feel too stiff, it's just be patient and keep working with this. Keep working with the breath, and you will strengthen these. You'll release the tension as well. Like as you become more familiar with this and as you practice this more often, the tension that you feel in the abdomen is going to start to release. If we hold too much tension in the abdomen, another thing that can happen is all the energy gets stuck here. So how can we release it is doing some qigong, doing any type of like lymphatic drainage, fascia release exercises, massage. So if you do castor oil packs over the abdomen, if you do any type of abdominal massages in the right direction, in the counterclockwise, clockwise. If you're looking at it like this, it's a different way than if you're looking at it on somebody. So I don't like to say the word clockwise because it gets confusing, but you're just going in the right direction, where it's like from your right side of your body to your left side. That's the circles you're supposed to do. And this is going to be good for obviously the digestive tract, and it's also going to be good for the lymphatic system. And the deep belly breaths will help push the lymph as well. So as much kind of motion, flexibility, not durability, but more so just like the ability for this area to be flexible and in motion, in movement, the better for your health and just for the body to be in motion. The body a stagnant body, stagnant energy is just not good. Okay, so keep this moving, and this will help create a sense of safety. This will help create that. It's like more of the practical side of this protocol for creating a sense of safety for the inner child. How can you do that practically? You're doing 5 deep belly breaths in the morning, 5 deep belly breaths at night. And if you're like me, it's become a habit. So you're doing them throughout the day. So when I'm driving, or when I'm at work, or when I'm shopping, or when I'm cooking, or when I'm just about to eat and I feel like I'm carrying mental clutter to the dinner table or whatever table I'm eating at, if I'm about to eat something and I feel like I'm holding on to too much from the day, just do the deep belly breaths. Just allow yourself to just be. And I don't want you to think too hard about it. I don't want you to count. You don't have to do that. You can count maybe the first few times just to get used to it. But I just want you to breathe in. And when you're breathing in, the best thing, this is a little bit unrelated, but breathing in, kind of splashing all the oxygen back, forcing all the oxygen back to the back of the head instead of going upwards. Sometimes we're used to going, and you're kind of breathing the breath upwards. You're breathing it horizontally to the back of the head. So you're picturing like the breath just kind of shooting back to the back of the head. So that's what we're going to train the body to do. And then you're exhaling, just push all the air out. long, slow, prolonged exhales to help push that carbon dioxide out. And what's that going to do? It's going to take away the acidity from the blood, and it's going to put you into rest and digest. Okay, so that's a very practical tip and way to help calm everything and to slow everything down. You're going to notice as soon as you do that, even just the first breath that you take slows everything down. Okay, now you can think. Now you're like, okay, now I know why I'm doing this. And then you want to do another one. Second deep breath. Third deep breath. Fourth deep breath. Fifth deep breath. You're thinking, wow, 5 is done already. That was pretty easy. That was very fast. Okay, so it's very easy to do, very easy practice to make a habit into your routine. And it's not something I want you to write on a to-do list. It's not something I want you to stress over. It's not something that you want to be thinking about, oh, I do my deep belly breaths. As soon as you think about it, because maybe you reminded yourself about it, or maybe you saw a video, or maybe you're watching this right now, and it reminds you to deep breathe, then do it in that moment. But I don't want you to have it as something to do on the to-do list. More so, it's incorporated into your routine. It's just kind of something that you're naturally inclined to do when you have a few seconds and you find yourself with a mind wandering, or if you find yourself holding on to too much from the day before, or maybe you're holding on to too much emotion, low vibrational emotions, sadness, grief, lust, whatever you're struggling with, any low emotions. You're just going to transcend those by going into a deep exhale, slowing everything down. Okay, so that's a really good way to utilize something very practical. The next point I want to discuss with you guys is how to create safety for the inner child on a more of a mental and spiritual way. So this is a way where it's more so like, how does your inner child feel? Okay, so sometimes we're thinking up in our mind, we're thinking, is there anything stressing me out right now? No. Why do I feel stressed? Why do I feel this uprest? Okay, it's usually because the inner child doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel taken care of, doesn't feel seen, doesn't feel heard. So what you can do is you can do an awareness meditation. I have one of these in my emotional regulation course. It'll be linked in the description. So this is a full video style course for you guys that has meditations, journal work for inner shadow work, emotional regulation work, and that is a really good self-paced. You have lifetime access to this and any updates that I make, which is great. But if you don't want to get the course and you just want to do your own style of awareness meditation, then you can just become aware of however you're feeling. Allow the emotions to come up, allow yourself to feel those emotions, and you can journal through those emotions as well. So if you have a journal with you while you're doing breath work or while you're doing this meditation, it's not a very deep meditation. It's very simple and straightforward, where you're just kind of sitting there and you're just being, and you're allowing whatever needs to come up, and you're not trying to hide it. You're not trying to run away from it. You're not trying to change the emotion. You're not trying to get rid of it. You're not trying to say like, okay, suppress and run away from it. The mic is not working very well. Oh, what does it sound like? I don't know why it would not be working very well. I hope it's working like decent. I could check it on my laptop. Okay, so how can we do that? Thank you, Danny. I need to know. I need to know how the mic is working. So let's close. Maybe, is it better if I close the door? So I don't know if it sounds echoey. I think I could also use my microphone. Like I have the little microphone thing, but sometimes when I edit, when I pre-record the microphone, I I don't like the sound, or it sounds better without. I don't know. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, let's try to remember where we were. Yeah, so the awareness meditation, okay? So doing the awareness meditation, allowing those emotions to come up and actually be there, it'll actually be felt. This is like you're picturing your inner child like an actual extra person. So it's almost like you're carrying around an extra person with you, like this mini version of yourself, okay? So it's just an external person. And imagine a little version of you with all their insecurities, with all their flaws, with all their fears and doubts, how much they would be kind of bugging you on this external part where you're like, okay, don't worry, I got this. Like, you have to kind of remind that inner child, like, okay, settle down. Like, I got this. It's okay. You're safe. You can relax, rest. You're just kind of flipping the script. Because if you do not acknowledge the inner child and something comes up in your world where it's triggering to the inner child, they're going to take over. It's going to feel like you're not going to even resonate with how you're reacting to situations. It's actually going to be the inner child that's reacting. I see this with specifically like if I've had maybe disagreements with family members, and you end up realizing that it's actually the inner child. Like, you see clearly after realizing this that it's the inner child in them that's reacting to you. It's not actually the rational grown-up version of them. And usually that inner child could be like 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. Usually whenever you felt like something was taken away from you, that's when the inner child, that's the age of the inner child. So whenever you feel like maybe a traumatic event happened, maybe you feel like this is when you were forced to grow up because you had to see a traumatic event happen to your parents, or maybe something happened, like a triggered child of them. Yeah, exactly. So that's who's reacting to the situation. So if you allow them to feel safe and you allow them to feel heard and you allow them to feel those emotions, then they kind of settle down, and you're reminding them that it's okay, and I got it from here. Like, you can rest. It's okay. You're just allowing them to feel those emotions and then just reminding them it's okay. It's okay. And sometimes it really takes you to say it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel those things. It takes that maybe for like 10 minutes straight. Maybe you've said it's okay 50 times. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes to kind of calm them down. Calm this inner voice down. Okay? So you're just kind of taking care of that, which will then create this sense of safety in your life. So now you are the creator of safety in your life for this inner child. So when you did not have that safety as a child, you are now becoming that safety for the inner child. So it's kind of like you become what you actually needed most in this world. And it is a very healing process. So one thing that I like to do is to ask myself, is everything around me and everything I'm doing in my day and routine, is it creating a sense of happiness and peace, or is it creating stress and uprest? Just asking yourself multiple things, okay? So maybe it's your room, maybe it's your work environment, maybe it's the people around you, maybe it's the shows you're watching. If you've watched me for a while, you know I've talked about the music and the media that you're consuming. Does it make you feel stressed, or does it make you feel peaceful and happy and joyous and grateful and inspired? Okay, inspired is a very important one. I notice that when I go on social media and I look, maybe I scroll or I watch YouTube video, instead of thinking, is this good, whatever this is going to teach me, whatever this is going to teach me, I think, how is this going to inspire me? Okay, we don't want to optimize every single angle of our life to make it so optimized where we think that being unproductive is a waste of time and that it's bad and that it decreases our value to be unproductive. No, we want to calm down and just think, what's going to spark joy and inspiration and peace? Because when you are at a state of peace, joy, happiness, bliss, inspiration, okay, then you're able to help and you're able to pour out and give from your overflow. We want to be able to give from our overflow and not deplete ourselves when we are giving to others or being there for others. Maybe having a conversation with a friend. Even that interaction is kind of a little bit of a giving experience. And are you giving where you're going to feel depleted afterwards, or are you giving from overflow, where the conversation is just flowing because you're already in a state of peace? So are you creating a state of peace in your life? Okay. So we talked about creating a space, your surroundings that create a sense of inner safety, inner peace, which is great. How else can you show your inner child that you will be there for them and you will take care of them? They don't need to worry. They can rest now. I want this to be a journal prompt for you guys. I have a journal inner work video coming soon. Just editing that. But this is another journaling prompt that you guys can use, which is, how can I create a world of safety for myself? Because I want this to be personalized to you. I don't want to give you the steps. I don't want to force you to do it my way or not allow space for your authentic ideas to come through. So allow yourself to journal on this. How can I create a space of safety for myself? A world of safety. How can I create safety for my inner child? Journal about this. You can either do it in jot notes where you're just making very small jot notes, or you can really go get inspired and creative with it and just like maybe create a whole entire day. What would that day look like? To feel very safe, to feel like your inner child is fully taken care of and can rest. What would you have to do in order for that inner child to feel like they can rest and that they're safe? Asking yourself these questions will allow the answers to surface and to bubble up. Okay? So this is your nervous system work. And if you feel like you need more help with this, if you feel like you need more guidance with this, you need more inner work and journaling, questions, you want to go deeper into this, shadow work. Shadow is working with the shadow side, working with the part of yourself that you neglect, that you kind of hide in the shadows. Then definitely check out the emotional regulation course. It is really, really well done. If you space it out properly, how you're supposed to space it out, you will see very good results, very amazing transformations in how you handle your emotions and how you process old wounds, and now how you feel about those. So when you first do maybe the meditation or the journaling prompts, or just when you think about these maybe past situations, you'll have whatever level of trigger or emotional dysregulation you'll feel about it, that will start to go down as you work through and process these emotions. So now when you think about a situation again, maybe 2 weeks later, you do not feel that same level of stress or dysregulation or that level of being triggered. Now it's gone down. Before maybe it was an 8 out of 10. Now you're feeling like a 4 out of 10. And then as you do it more and as you process this emotion more, this situation more, now it's a 2 out of 10. Then it's a 1 out of 10. Now after a while, you're going to notice these do not have any power over you. These are just situations in your life that have given you lessons, that have allowed you to grow, learn, that have allowed you to feel empathy for others, that have allowed you to help others. So it's an amazing course. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. That's basically the ideas that I had planned for you guys. The one big thing with this is you have to create a habit of taking care of the inner child. It has to kind of, like, you have to make that inner child feel like, okay, I can rest. I don't have to come out. I don't have to fight for this person. Okay, so for you, when you're journaling about this, your answers could look so different, but you have to, there's still going to be an air of like, it has to be consistent. You have to take care of yourself today. You have to take care of yourself tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So the more you can be consistent with it, the more that your body feels safe. Because predictability and safety kind of go hand in hand. So the more you can predict, like, okay, if this does happen, I can predict my reaction. I will be okay because when this happened, I was okay. And when this happened, I was okay. And I took care of myself. And I journaled about it, and I knew how to get through these emotions, and I allowed myself to feel them. I allowed myself to process them. Then your body feels safe to do other things, maybe to take risks. Maybe if you're scared about relationships, to go back into relationships and dating, because you now know when something does happen or when you do get triggered, you know how to take care of yourself. So that's creating that sense of safety. It revolves around this consistency, this ability to predict how you're going to act. When your inner child can predict, like, okay, she knows how to help me in this situation, or he knows how to calm this emotion down. He knows how to get myself out of this feeling of unsafety and uncertainty. If you have that as a pattern, you trained yourself. You know a protocol. For me, I know that when I feel very dysregulated or unsafe, or do I feel maybe stressed, or I feel like my world's falling apart, I have a protocol for myself. So I already have this level of safety. I've kind of created a boundary, not a boundary, but I've created like a protocol, a kind of a something to fall back on if something does come up and I am in a state of emotional dysregulation or a very high stress level. I have specific things I'm going to go to, like breath work or specific meditations or specific things I want to listen to, relaxing sounds. Maybe it's some like religious chants. Maybe it's some meditate, like nice talks. I have specific playlists where I have what I'm going to listen to, like what I will watch to calm everything down, to remind myself of things I need to remember. I have a specific protocol in journaling, how I'm going to journal those things, what I'm going to feel, how I'm going to do those things, like how I'm going to process those emotions. So create a protocol for yourself, but you have to first discover what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel like stable and peaceful and happy. And what in your life can you start to take out? What in your surroundings, specifically physically in your surroundings, or emotionally, spiritually, socially in your surroundings, that create maybe a feeling of unsafety. The higher empathy level seems, okay, sorry, let me read from the beginning. Seems that to higher the empathy leads to higher stress levels. The higher empathy level someone has, often the higher stress. We want to solve other people's problems, and it seems really we can only tackle our own issues for the most part. Depends, you just need to learn to balance your empathy, realize there's only so much you can do for another. Fill your own cup first so you give them from an overflowing cup, not depleting you. Absolutely. But yes, it can be stressful and you care about others and they are going through a tough time. Absolutely. This is not something to be frowned upon. This is not something to run away from. This is a natural human feeling. And empathy is a sign that you are doing well in life if you have empathy for others. Okay, so this is not something to run away from. This is just the ins and outs of being a human being. So don't allow yourself to allow yourself to feel those things. If you feel like you cannot feel those things, that's more of the problem. And how I kind of handle those situations, I would tell somebody to watch a very sad movie, read a very sad book, or I think the sad movie part is the easiest thing. And allow yourself to feel emotions, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to see other people's experiences and not just shut yourself out from it. because maybe it was a very traumatic thing when you're younger to see traumatic things happening to others, and you kind of shut that down, and now you've kind of you kind of closed off or hardened the empathy. You still haven't, but you've hardened the empathy just so that you don't feel all this pain at once. So it's okay to feel empathy. Allow yourself to fully feel that. Not maybe fully is too much at once. So watching a sad movie where you know at the end of the day, okay, it's a movie. It's okay. There's still microphones on top of this scene. Like, it's okay. So that's a very easy start. And just allow yourself to cry it all out. And sometimes I'll notice with myself, if I'm crying over a movie or something maybe sad that I'm seeing, I will almost cry for that and more. So I'm watching a sad movie, I'm crying because it's sad, and then I'm crying because something else is going on in my mind, and I'm like releasing emotions about another situation or another emotion that's coming up. Okay, so allow yourself to cry, and then if you feel more emotions coming up, don't shy away from those either, and allow those to release as well. You can go further into this with journaling. You can go further into this by asking yourself more questions of what am I feeling? What does my inner child want to tell me? And usually you're so in tune with this, you don't realize, but the intuition with this, you can start to strengthen over time by just asking yourself, like, what is this inner child trying to tell me? Like, how unsafe do they feel? What would make them feel better? How can I create a sense of safety for myself? Just dropping in awareness into the body, become in tune with what's happening and how you want to process emotions. And this will start to become like a less painful experience. Okay, it's painful in the beginning, like I said. Maybe it starts at an 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. Now you go to a 6 or a 4 out of 10, and then as you revisit it, it'll go to like a 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10. So you kind of have to start a little bit painful, and then it's going to start to go down the amount, the level that you'll be triggered. Okay, so this is a really easy way. Well, let's say it's not easy, it's hard to do, but it's not difficult. It's very practical. Allow yourself to feel the emotions. Allow yourself to journal. When I say allow yourself, it means do it with full allowance. Like, do it with the full will to be there. Not where it's like, I'm forcing you to do it. Interesting. A microphone above. If that makes the things easier for you to view it like that, you can try it. You can try it doing it that way. That's not how I personally view it, but okay, so basically, guys, that's the end of this live. A few other things, actually, let's just add a few other tips for safety is like I said with the protocol, have a protocol for yourself. A few like random tips is that could be very helpful is having a specific tea that you go to, or you drink this specific tea when you feel overwhelmed, and making sure that that's stocked in your house. That creates a level of safety because it's predictability. I know if I feel stressed or if I feel overwhelmed, I can just go drink this tea, and I can go and listen to this album or whatever, or do this specific stretch video on YouTube where I'm just like stretching, or maybe doing a workout that's calming, that's not too intense. You have that protocol in place. If you want to write this physically down in your notebook and not waste your notebook on random drawings like this, then you can definitely do that. But I like to do it on my phone. I have it on my phone just in case I'm not home and I don't have access to my notebook. I know what I'm doing because it's written on my phone, and I know what I can go to. Maybe it's just I just feel a little bit overwhelmed that day, and all it takes is just watching one specific video in that playlist and listening to one specific sound. Maybe it's nature sounds. Like I said, maybe it's a religious song, maybe a religious chant, and then it calms my nervous system down, calms me down, and I already know if this happens again, or if I feel whatever I feel, I have the protocol. I know what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so create this sense of safety for yourself by creating predictability, creating a protocol that you already know you're going to be taken care of. So relax. You can go into situations more courageous because you know how to handle yourself. You know you can get through it because you've gotten through other things. So let's say today a situation happens today and you just feel like you don't want to do that protocol. You just want to binge on whatever you're doing, binge on a bad habit. Not only are you hurting yourself today, but you're hurting yourself tomorrow because you've set this standard for yourself. Like in your mind, you know, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be okay because last week when this happened, I didn't take care of myself. So every time that you have an opportunity, let's say that every time that you have a situation happening and you have an opportunity to take care of yourself or do something good or whatever it may be, incorporate a good habit, upward spiral, actually follow through with that thing, even if it's super, super small. You guys know I talk about starting small is better than doing nothing. Doing 1 push-up is better than doing 0 push-ups. Reading 1 page is better than reading 0 pages. So just because you're not doing a whole bunch of things, huge workout, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it at all. Okay? So starting small, just so that you know, okay, at least I know I will do something. I will help myself in one way, even if it's very small. Okay, absolutely. Every journey starts with 1 small step. Every single journey. Yeah, I know. I always say goodbye and then I'm like, hey guys, I have more. Because I'm like, I know after I close the live, I'm gonna be like, oh, I could have said that. Because I have my notes. And then I'm like, wait, I could tell them this is what I do. Because I don't want to tell you too many things about what I do, because I want you to still come up with your own personalized plan. Okay? That's the one thing is I see a lot of YouTubers or people in this space telling you guys exactly like what steps to do. This. But for other people, it's going to be different, right? Like you may not want to go on your phone when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Maybe you have a specific book you want to read. Maybe it's a fiction book. It's like calms you down, whatever it may be. And you don't want to see your phone, okay? I'm fine with opening my phone and opening a video on YouTube or whatever, like listening to some sounds, whatever it may be. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yeah. Okay. Another thing, you can have specific sensations, and there's people that like to have a specific pillow or a specific blanket that they feel safe when they're just around it, so they can just kind of like wrap themselves in this blanket, or they can just kind of whatever. I'm as I'm saying this, I'm looking at my acupressure mat. I'm like, this is probably not the most calming. This is not the probably most calming sensation, but it is definitely calming. Maybe not for the people that are new to this. I definitely want to watch that movie, yeah. Because I don't know if I've seen it back in the day, but I haven't seen it recently. Oh my gosh, I don't know how this opened. Okay, so back to this. This is very calming. This is in my night routine, my nervous system centered night routine for calming the nervous system down. And yeah, your dog can be another way to just kind of rest. But this is very good for the nervous system. If you guys are having trouble sleeping, if you guys are having muscle aches, I promote this like I made it, but this is just a random product. But this is super good. The acupressure backed. So not acupuncture. I wouldn't do that at home. But the acupressure, there's specific spots. If you guys have seen my TikTok lives, I talk about the specific area around the nail bed. You can either do it just this way or you're going to do it this way. And it's going to stimulate the pituitary gland. And it just calms everything down. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know any video recommendations, any specific questions that you guys have in the comments. And all my links are going to be in the description if you are interested in health coaching with me one-on-one, or if you want to do the emotional regulation course on your own in the comfort of your own privacy. That'll be also linked in the description. Okay, thank you guys.